question is, how does this work? How did this do? I just got back from a road trip late last night to Colorado and back. And that's a trip I do a couple times a month, mostly the year. There might be a month or two where I don't do it. But how did this work out? So I've got some footage from the trip showing different lighting conditions using the different systems on the truck. As I've got, the fog lights down here, all the high beam stuff here, just the headlights. But what follows a whole bunch of footage on that and showing you exactly what it did. And that trip last night, that is the worst snowstorm I've driven through on that trip. Price Canyon, I seriously was thinking I made a huge mistake trying to go up it. But once I got to Soldier Summit, actually even before then, right about Schofield, it started clearing up. Snow got a little less whiteout condition, and Soldier Summit, it was nice and clear and the roads were fine, until I got back down to Spanish Fork. Before I got out of the canyon, not too far from Spanish Fork, it started going whiteout again. Really, really rough trip. So I just got done washing this truck off. I want all that salt and crap off my truck. Here's an aside for that one. Those of you that know these engines better than I do, what component doesn't like getting wet in this engine? There is something in there in the control systems that just hates getting wet. Anytime I hose off the engine bay, try to get the salt and dirt and muck and mud out of there, there's something that needs to dry out. I don't know what it is. It won't let the truck run. But yeah, so very interesting trip. I wasn't back until midnight 30 probably. Rough trip, but yeah. Overall, I like the lights. The lights perform great. They do pretty well. And with those ditch lights, I get a much better spread out of the sides of the road. These things, these nice 7-inch rounds, man, do they put some light out front. But I do think they are pointed too low. I need to point them. Previous clips. Look how iced over that is, and yet you're still getting pretty good light output. This is half as bad as it was at Green River. Way more iced over there. What's funny is this side, that's getting warm enough to keep that up. But I'm gonna knock all that ice off right now. But yeah, pretty bad snowstorm. But the lights are still doing pretty freaking good, even when there's how they perform in that kind of nasty weather. I do like the lighting profile I've got on the truck now. The fogs are pretty dang good for when that snow is, when it's blowing at you. You know, anything white just tends to blind you, or the yellows, the ambers will actually cut through for you. And I am glad before that trip I did actually go get more of that split loom and get all those wires protected in there. Funny thing is my local auto parts store had 3/8 and 3/4, no 1/2 inch. But this part of the trunk, yeah, I probably need that 3/4 inch. Well, yeah, fun trip. Not my favorite at all. That was a difficult trip. That really was. And then you get some of those people out there on the road that think they need to do 10 miles an hour. I understand the semi trucks. I totally understand their game. But the other people, man, that's infuriating. But I'll tell you this much, though. That was probably, traffic-wise, the least amount of traffic I've seen on Highway 6, because everybody stopped in Green River and overnighted there because they knew what the storm was going to be doing up in the canyons. So, yeah. There you go for performance of these lights. If you came this far with me, appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.